Pictures that evoke the morning after the night before. The rebellion against the glitz of the 1980s was raw, verging on ugly.
The
photographers, stylists, and designers who worked at that time, the late 1980s and early 90s, who crashed into the scene, so to speak, they no longer had any desire to deceive themselves or the viewers.
Young and innocent, that's the impression Kate Moss made. Barely 16 years old. Her first fashion shoot on a beach has gone down in fashion legend. The snapshot ended up on the cover of one of the top magazines of the time. It was the beginning of an era, and Moss became one of the most sought-after models of the 90s. From then on, supposedly real types peopled fashion publications. They were photographed everywhere, except in studios. Those who took the pictures still rave about those times.
Fashion was fun. It was never something that was there to control.
They photographed their friends wearing their designer friends' favorite outfits and published them in glossy magazines.
No, these are all friends, and this is my wife. This is my closest friend, Yorinda, from childhood, and a very dear friend, Rebecca. This is a very young Chloe. It's a reflection. So we were free. We were completely free. And I think that that freedom is what comes across in all of our work here in this exhibition.
But in the end, fashion is all about money, so that freedom was short-lived. Soon, big business jumped onto the bandwagon. Grunge became the look of the decade. Seemingly casual backstage photos were actually planned meticulously. Berlin-based Kostas Mokoudos, now a successful designer, views radical chic more critically.
It somehow became more public, sometimes genuine and sometimes put on, because it was suddenly hip and chic. With some artists, it was a natural process that grew out of their own work and their own existence, and for others, it was a mannered marketing gimmick designed to attract customers.
To be in nowadays, you have to combine street chic with high tech. That's what Kostas Mokoudos and his artist friend Kostin Nikolai have done.
Merde. Nom de Dieu. Piège à con.
Walking, standing, frozen under strobe lights. Minimalism taken to the limit.
Ultimately, it looks very simple, very reduced, and then it's wrongly dubbed minimalist. That's a word from the 90s. From my point of view, we just kept eliminating things until it looked cool and somehow right.
A lot of people think radicalism was a justified response to the chaos of the 1990s. Fashionistas were confronted with AIDS, violence, and drugs. Even though outsider chic was very quickly brought into the commercial fold, the shock hit home. Now, 20 years later, pale girls and scrawny boys no longer cause outrage. And lank hair and threadbare jeans are commonplace in fashion magazines everywhere.